What is going on, everybody? Difficult truth, I'll never get Weapon X from gifting. What's up, Nah? Thank you so much for being here. What's up, Zach? Notifications are actually reliable. Oh, man, and I'm sorry that you have notifications on for this. I will try to hang out for at least an hour, and we'll eventually do... I'm going to do the event quest. That's how far behind on actual just questing I am. What's up, Spin? Safe Bossy, what's up? This is so cool. So many people are here. This is really neat. What's up, Captain and Rogue? What's up, dude? Infamous. Oh, wow. All right. Thank you for all of you being here to help me out. I mean, I do want to hang out. There's obviously not a lot of news dropped. And I kind of want to let people vent, and I kind of want to hear from it. I also wanted to test out my stream. I think I've got everything sorted. For those who know, I have been having a little bit of technical difficulty with the streaming other people's streams in the Battlegrounds. And I think in every case but one, we got it sorted, we got it figured out. But one of my, I have a lot of motivations for doing the Battlegrounds tournament. One of them is to be able to provide a showcase for my friends. And because I think they're awesome. And provide like a platform. And so then when we go on and my stream just sucks and they're out there performing and doing well and competing, I feel really bad about that. I feel quite badly. So I'm trying to get it sorted. I've got it fixed. I've watched some, I realize how ridiculous it's about to sound. I've watched some YouTube videos. BMcG walked me through some stuff. And as you can see, I mean, we're streaming Lefty and Max here, right? Two awesome streamers and channels. They're totally live. And when I first went live, I did get that spinning wheel a little bit, but I think that was just my OBS connecting. And like, they look great, right? I know it's not typical for a YouTuber to be like, hey, come hang out with me while we watch someone else stream. But that's what we're gonna do here for a few more seconds. But I mean, it's literally working fantastically. Like I can jump back in Max's stream. God, he's got a beautiful stream, doesn't he? I mean, we can jump around. I can pause it. I can do the same thing in Lefties. So I feel I'll bring him live. Are you guys seeing anything odd on your side? Is it coming through like really well? All my rants are being reserved at this point. DLL's comments are really leveled my expectations. Yeah, I mean, leveled in a good way. I could read your statement a couple different ways. Infamous. What's up, nerd? How you doing, bro? Buddy? Zach, not sure how I feel about relics. There's so many skills I need to learn in the game, and relics are going to radically... That, I will say, that is one of my concerns. We can talk about that. I hope I said hi to Spinnaker already. PWF, you will not ignore the thumbnail. I did purposely choose the difficult truths one. I felt like it would be good to bring that out. That was intentional. So, because I know some people are bad at reading, and other people are just defiant. Which one are you? I know you think reading is bad. Are you also defiant? I feel like you might be a little bit. All right. Well, I'm going to take down their streams because it is their property. I don't think they would mind me using it to test out for a little bit. This feels good. I feel like I've got stuff sorted. So I'm happy with that. There's a close-up of Lefty. And I'll turn those down. He's a good dude, that Lefty Knox. He's a good dude. So is Max. I actually hung out with Max. All right, let's do a little bit of the chat. Let's catch up with everyone, and then I will try to do a little bit of the EQ because I should do it. I all I have to do is finish it up, and I think I have enough to do a new R4 champion. I'm more excited about Ascension than the relics. So am I, dude. So am I. Like, I was playing the game very competitively in a different way than I am now in 4 Loki. I'm a much better player. I was playing a lot more of the Prestige game, which you can still be a great player and play the Prestige game. It's just I wasn't. And so that transition from 5 to 6 hit hard, like really hard. It didn't feel smooth at all. And I feel like Kabam has learned from it. There's been a lot of talk of that. So I believe at least they're trying to. What's up, Donnie? Spinnaker saying revved indeed and now need to set up. Oh, maybe I misread the original comment. Set up my stream platform and hope that Uni Wi-Fi holds up. Oh, no, Spinnaker's going in 2 hours. Spin, you're streaming it? This is breaking my heart. This is breaking my heart. Spinnaker is such an awesome dude. We got to know each other over Mojo. I think over comments on a Mojo video I made, and maybe I watched one of his, and then joined my Discord server, and he's just a great guy. I'm so excited for him. I know what school university he's at. I won't say it, but it's a great school. And are you actually streaming tonight? Oh my God, I'm missing. There are two incredible matchups in the Illuminati Invitational, the Vega Battlegrounds Championships. I still feel a little douchey saying my own name like a third person thing, but I'm getting more comfortable with it, which I don't know if that's a good sign. And I'm gonna miss both of those matchups, and they're both going at 7 o'clock tonight, my time, 10 o'clock Eastern. What's up, Eric? Tage, hey, Vega wanted Hercules more than anyone in the game, so 100% Act 7 for the Nexus. And I put, what? Dude, that is awesome. That deserves a lucky hat in the chat. That's what the lucky hat is for. Congratulations. Say Fossey, thanks, dude. They did look good, right? And I mean, I could totally adjust everything. I think, now watch, tomorrow it won't work. But I think what I need to do is pull up the streams first, then boot up OBS. I think that's the thing there. And then if they do the spin wheel for a little bit while they're connecting, I need to just like leave it alone. I need to let the interweb OBS, it's very technical jargon. I know it probably went over a lot of people's heads, but let the interweb do its thing. Let the spinning wheel work itself out. Instead of messing with it, which is what I've been doing. And I've also been bringing up OBS first and the other way around. So I think that's the problem. Now, Horn, I've been begging for 7 stars forever. Interesting. So you love the collecting aspect of the game. So you love the collecting aspects, but you wanted 7. Because I've really felt like people who enjoyed the collecting aspect most were the most likely to be upset. But I know you, and I know how smart you are about this game. I think there's a different aspect of how you play it that changes that formula for me a little bit. Spin looks okay, so I'm really far behind the chat. Eric, I'm glad DLL will be around to answer our questions during the transition. Absolutely, and no one's going to know better than him. PDF, only odd thing is no face cam. Oh, sorry guys. I've gotten little. Oh no, that's not what I want. Where's the face cam? Where's the face cam? Where is that thing? Hey, it's me. It's me. Hey, everybody. No Nova. Nova's not in the back. I know, it's a huge disappointment. She's by far the best part of the stream. What was I saying? I was saying something. Who knows what I was saying? As in anxious, infamous, called by father long limbs. I know that if I... There's too many inside jokes and terms in there for me to fully understand it. If you could explain it to me like I'm 3. Most people say 5, and dial it down a few for me. Get to 3. I'll probably understand half of it. B McG, hi honey. My girlfriend says hi. You tell your girlfriend I tried to message you like 45 minutes ago. I wanted some private alone time with you on Discord, and I didn't get it. And I'm blaming her. It's her fault. But I don't think she's going to care. Nerd's doing well. What's up, Josh? Killa. I believe that's Killa. What's up, dude? We got the lucky hats. Vega, what do you think of 6-star Wong? I think he's good. I think right now there's not a place where I'm currently like excited to use him. But I think he's one of these champions, Donnie, for me, where like when a champion comes out, like as a YouTuber or just someone who's really interested in the game, but I found both of those coming together for me. Like when we were doing those early champion reviews, I was like, you know what, if I create like a numerical system and I grade everyone from like 1 to 10 on all these things, and there's people who've done amazing videos like that. Like Taters has done amazing videos. I wish he would still do them, actually. But one of the things I always thought is I'm like, but how do you use them? Like, you could make the most overpowered champions in the game, but if the nodes or the defenders aren't there to accentuate them, or they take them away, then like it doesn't do any good. Now that's a little extreme, but that's kind of where I feel Wong is right now. Like when you read his kit, you're like, dude, this is going to be good. And then you play him, you're like, yeah, this is pretty sweet. But then you go into use them in Battlegrounds, War, AQ, or what have you, and you're just so often left with like, yeah, why wouldn't I just use this champion? It kind of feels similar to me as like America Chavez, where she can do things really well, like reverse that ability power rate, but it takes a long build up, and that's about it. And you often end up in this issue where you're still hitting that champion, and so you're building their power. The SB2 is not going long enough. I think Wong's better than her, and that's why I saw, I believe it was Buddy Lee, and I'm not going to remember the other channel. Someone else did some cool stuff with her, but I know Buddy Lee, with him. I know Buddy Lee did. So go look at Buddy Lee's channel and look up Wong, and I know he did some cool stuff in like Eternity of Pain, and I think something in Abyss of Legends. I could be wrong there, but I know it was Eternity of Pain. Tage, what's up? Thanks, man. Herc's sold his own of 7 stars. I think so. I think Herc's one of those transcendent champions. And, we saw, again, this is just me speculating. This isn't CCP. We've seen with there's no 6-star Quake, there's no 6-star Magic. I would not be shocked if Herc is one of those ones that takes a while to come out as a 7-star. So, give him as the 6-star. And then I believe you're going to be able to do the Ascension with your 6 stars. If anyone knows that for a fact or not, I'd love to hear that. But I'm pretty sure 6 stars are included in that. Static, I love the thoughts of 7 stars in Ascension. We need it and more currently content that requires it. So Static, this is kind of where I feel a lot of people lie in. And let me get to the next comment out there. Ozfan's been, I think, my longest running channel member. I think we're on like almost 2 years. The only positive found is that they made it before those Oz Ozfan, I could not agree with that more. And you know what? Because I'm just doing so much Battleground streams for the tournament, I probably didn't even get a chance to talk about it. Like even the people who watch my channel incredibly closely and point things out that like I didn't realize I was doing. I don't think anyone really had the chance to notice it. Yeah, because I don't think I felt comfortable talking about it. I was ready to go like all in on this Iron Man, an infamous Iron Man. And I had even said in like a previous video, I'm like, I think I think Gallon, because I wanted Gallon the most, Gallon and Quicksilver, those are going to be like my big ones that I try to go for. And like the only other way is if like there's like this Doom Iron Man combination, and lo and behold, there it was. So I was pretty ready. And then obviously we've seen the Prestige. But right now I'm like, it just literally makes no sense. I'm not sure it ever did make sense. It was all for fun to begin with. But there's that tinge of like, it just doesn't sound as much fun. I told everyone I would open 20 if we hit a likes requirement on the early access video. We crushed that likes requirement. Last I checked, I think we did, or we were on our way to. I haven't checked in a while. So I will open 20 tomorrow. And then we'll just see where it goes from there. But I understand that. I actually really feel that myself. So Static, what I think is, I think most people fall into 2 categories, and I could be very wrong, and that's part of what I'd love to talk about. And thank you so much. I see all these. I'm having actually trouble catching up with the chat. I think if you're currently still really energized by the challenges that are being presented by the game, or if like, let's just say like you're in an alliance like you love, like I'm in 4 Loki. I love that alliance. I love that collection of people. And I have this YouTube channel. I love doing this. Like the fact that I can just do this and so many of you guys show up and I'm like, let's hang out. This is awesome. Like, it's not that I don't care. I do care. But I'm not worried about replacing my 6-star roster for 2 reasons. One is I really feel like the 7-star champions, if and when I get them in like a year or 2 years, and then when I really start ranking them up, they're probably like a year to year and a half to 2 years away. I'm probably not trying to pull Doom again. I'm probably trying to pull Rintra, or I'm trying to pull Wiccan, or some new champion that's come out between now and then. So I won't feel like I'm replacing it because I'm not looking to pull like 7-star Magic, someone I used as 5-star. I'm actually probably pulling new champions. And then also, I am enjoying the challenges that are presented to me. Like, I'm sure it's obvious I'm in love with Battlegrounds. I'm not amazing at them, but I love it. And so I'm less concerned about replacing my 6-star roster. I'm more interested in what champions are going to come out and how are they going to interact and how well can I use them in Battlegrounds. And so I think people that are kind of playing the game that way are more likely to either not care about 7 stars or be excited about them in Relics. Whereas if that's not how you were playing it, or if you didn't have that like friend alliance where you log on and you check line, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times a day to joke around with people, I could see 7 stars being a real pain, like a disappointment, a flat out disappointment. How many people asked their alliance mates who to use for fight or path in Act 8? I'm sure a lot of people did. B, you missed it? Out to eat? Ah, cool, man. Yeah, dude, I hope it was cool. I was messing around. I hope you're having a great time with your lady. Josh, I'm excited for everything. Relics seem like they'll be interesting. Increase. Yeah, I think so too. And I don't think it said, I have not been able to make it all the way through DLL's video. I mean, the guy is a developer. He's actually played with them, right? Like that's a really big difference between his video and everyone else's. It's one of the big differences. And I'm guessing. I'm kind of reading the tea leaves here. Is that it feels like, you know, that one relic that we can all talk about is like it's going to be helpful to like Carnage, Venom. I think Venom pool. It'll be most helpful to them. It'll have the largest increase in their usability or damage or whatever. And so I like that because, like, what if you're like, dude, I love Venom, but how can I not use Hercules here? Like, how could I not? I'll obviously have to use Hercules. And then if that relic helps you get to the point where you're like, okay, it's not. I'm not being stubborn using my Venom or Carnage instead of my Hercules. I think that's a really good thing. And so I don't feel like that rationale is being publicized a lot or talked about a lot. So I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I'm seeing them. So I'm kind of pumped up on that. Infamous is saying Wong's an important part of my current BG's deck. That's the whole personalized thing. Do you use them on attack, like against Hercules for that Sig ability? And then if you're comfortable telling us, I'd love to hear more because I feel like you actually told me another strat. I just couldn't pull it off with Wong. What's up, Tillitan? Thanks for being here, buddy. Well, on your side at 6 a.m. Oh, that's early. Are you in Europe? You in Europe or you in India, maybe? Yeah, you're about 12 hours. You're 13 hours ahead of me. Buddy Lee's done some insane stuff with Wong. Yeah, Buddy Lee does a lot of insane stuff on his YouTube channel, but definitely with Wong. And to explain further what I meant was clarifying that I was anxious about the announcement today, but DL's commentary makes me feel better. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I feel like I caught up to you with what I was saying. Yeah, DL has actually played with them. Like he's, for those who don't know, he put out a video, I think like a week or two ago. He's a champion designer. He recently got hired, relatively recently. It took a while to get the clearance to be able to tell everyone. He wanted to tell everyone, and he got that clearance, so he said it now. And so in his videos, I think his first video as whether it was public as a champ designer, was he did the early breakdowns of Immortal or Infamous Iron Man and Titania. And he actually said, he's like, I got to play them when CCP members had not been able to play them. So that was pretty cool. What's up, Dot? You would kill? Yeah, 7-star Magic, my friend. I think we'll be lucky if we see the 6-star now. And I think that'll still be a while. Peter, I think the issue with the structure of BGs at release is tempering any hopes that we'll have for this new releases. Are you talking about like the rewards structure, PWF? And I'm going to try to get through chat so we can get more current on it. I made a pretty recent just to stop spending. Good for you. 1 week without the sigil. I think this announcement has reinforced my decisions. Just don't want to go through all that again. You were talking about like building. So you obviously made your comment after I talked about like it's probably new champions. Does that shift your thinking at all? Or are you like, yeah, that's nonsense? As long as my buddies and the people I like watch play with the say, that's how I am, Zach. I've made it clear. I do YouTube because I enjoy the game. I'm a player of the game. I enjoy my alliance. I enjoy my Discord server. I've enjoyed the friends I've made along the way, and I now enjoy the channel quite a bit, but I play the game. If I started hating the game, I'd find other things to do, probably turn the channel into something else. What's up, Kuta? Samuel, the rat race in this game is never ending. Absolutely, my friend. And if you go and look at almost anything I've done, the topic comes up. That's what I've been saying. I've been saying that for a long time. That's why I tell people whaling is a full-time job. It's a 24-hour a day, 7 days a week job that never ends. You don't like whale once, or you don't like do one arena grind. Like it just keeps going if you want to stay at that pace. And so I one of the best things I ever did for like I don't want to over dramatize the term mental health, but it's for my mental outlook on this game, was joining For Loki and just slowly embracing the way they approach the game. Yeah, I didn't have to do AQ rank ups anymore. I didn't have to do prestige. I didn't have to do anything besides just be a good quality, reliable alliance mate. And that fit really well with how I wanted to play the game. And once that happened for me, I noticed I was more even keeled about the game. Like announcements like this didn't faze me as more. But there was a time where I would be really upset or anxious from this stuff, and think about like, oh my gosh, did I waste all this time in the game? No, because I was just enjoying the challenge that was in front of me. And so it was less about trying to dominate something or stay on top of something. It was more about just like getting to know the champions, learning what they do, how do they interact, going to war with my friends, and then now battlegrounds and things like that. So anytime that comes up, I try to tell people, like, play the game the way you're enjoying it and try to not worry or even care about what else everyone else is doing. Because I do think the game will make you crazy if you let that happen. What's up, OG Highline? Probably already said hello. I hope I did. Question on 7 stars. If I had a 6 star in an R5... I honestly don't know, and I don't want to project. I don't want to guess. And I think that's one... I wonder if Kabam even totally knows. I think this is... I have really enjoyed their transparency on this stuff of late. Is they're no longer saying, we will never, or this won't, or this definitively will. If you look at their language, the wording they're using in a lot of their communications, there's a lot more. We currently don't plan to. At the moment, this is how it will work. And so I think that makes a lot of sense. And I love that they're giving themselves wiggle room, because they're admitting, they're saying, like, we don't know every interaction in this game, or there might be a new mode, or there might be a new... I now am starting to have more faith in that. And so I'm happy about that. What's up, Doug? The game and the other mobile games are made to be rat races, though. Absolutely they are. 100% truth. Could not be more correct. Regardless, needed to introduce some sort of progression. I've been playing for 6 years in personal, not comp, with my son. Really looking forward to chase again. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I've been playing, I think, for about the same amount of time. I can never remember, 6 or 7, but something like that. And yeah, I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up. I mean, I think we all know Incursions is going to be getting an update. Battlegrounds has been fantastic. I hear PWF on the reward structure. That's why I'm curious if that's what he's talking about. Those reward structure for a different one. I'd like to know. By higher rating means they're automatically more viable from a content at a lower rank. I don't know, because there was a time where I had 5-star Doom and 6-star. And you would go with the 5-star because they're gaining power more quickly. Like, I think it was, when my Doom was like a rank 2 and my 6-star Doom was a rank 2, and definitely when they were a rank 1, it was actually very cool to have them both. Because I could use one in war and still use one in content, or use one in AQ or content, that sort of thing. So there probably will be a time where it's actually really nice to have both. But I think that's also one of those, like, really great problems to have. Like, if you think about that hypothetical, if it's still Doom, if Doom's still that powerful, when this sort of ranking is possible, it'd be really nice to have a 6-star Doom and a 7-star Doom, right? That's a good problem. OG Helen, not trying to spam. Dude, it's spam. If anyone deserves to spam the chat, it's you, first of all. Second of all, if I just don't see the question, repeat it. But do you think with the upcoming 7 stars on the way, we'll see... If I purely had to guess, and it is purely a guess, I'd say no. And the reason why is because I think they are very difficult for Kabam to create around. They're so incredibly powerful, and I know that, like, Magic doesn't seem to have the utility of, like, all these new champions are coming out, or in Quake obviously too. Quake being different, but for me it's kind of similar to, like, why Hyperion's now fine. But then I'll still tell you, like, look, if you're choosing between Hulkling and Hype, probably go with Hulkling. And it's kind of what we were saying earlier, is Hyperion probably looks stronger. Like, if you just created a matrix for the total strength of a champion, Hype may appear stronger. But when you combine in that we have nodes or defenders that very specifically require or are made easier by the utility that someone like Hulkling or Gallon has, that's where they jump up and become more stronger, or ones I would say rank. Quake and Magic, because Quake can actually just, like, not get hit. Like, it could just not happen. She dismisses all of those nodes and those things. Magic, because she has the ability to just fully power lock a champion, she also just turns off so much. So while they don't have all of that, like, fluff and extra stuff, what they do in that one single way is so incredibly powerful by the way the game is designed. I think that there are problems that needed to be designed around. And if they let them be 6 stars, and then if 6-star Ascension is what I'm kind of hoping it is, and it does really make you feel like you don't have to rank up 7 stars, if it's prolonging that life of 6 stars, then that would just be it'd be like reintroducing the problem again. Where right now it feels like, okay, people got a lot out of their 6-star Quake and Magic, which, by the way, remember, you can ascend 5 stars. Keep that in mind. Meaning you could ascend them just to fully connect those dots. So as a result, I don't think we'll see them. That doesn't mean we won't. I'm not bothered by 7 stars. You can clear in-game content with the 5s. Absolutely. And I think it was Campo. Someone wrote in a chat recently, they were like, I cleared Abyss of Legends with 5 stars. People cleared, what was it called? Grandmaster's Gauntlet with 5 stars. So I that's how I feel. I respect that not everyone feels that way. I'm going to try to move down a little bit more. Vega, how are you feeling about the 7s? I've been talking about a lot. You probably wrote that statement a while ago because I've been giving pretty lengthy answers to things. So if you still have questions, so please, Faust, go ahead. Although if not all were 7 stars, just for the. So there was some talk. What am I allowed to say? I'll just. I won't be coy. I won't be cute. I would have really liked it, like in my dream world, where just Kabam didn't have to worry about if there were these just really specialized 7 stars, like if they were. Like extraordinarily rare, you couldn't really buy them. I'm not sure, like the whole like monetization, how do you introduce them into the game? But like what is it, the Black Widow Citalis or something like that? Like what if she was somehow available as a 7-star, but it was very limited to how you got her, and it wasn't like through gifting, you know? I don't know how you would implement that. I have no idea. Like it's really easy to come up with these things and then they're very impractical, but I would have thought that would have been so cool. And just leave it at that. Like, and that 7 stars weren't necessarily going to phase out 6 stars. They more just like existed in the same world somehow together. Like maybe 7 stars had like a little mechanic that made them a little bit more desirable as outside of the fact that they were just unique and very cool. But then I was like, that's going to require Kabam to create and balance a whole nother champion every month. Like there's just a lot of problems with that idea. 6 stars will still be viable until R2. Yeah, but think about it, right? Like if it follows a similar timeline or structure, maxed out 5 stars were just as strong. They were stronger than your 6-star rank 2s in many places. And it wasn't until 6 stars hit rank 3. And even then, there are cases where if the SIG ability is really important, or if that extra little power, combat power is important, I hear you. I'm not saying you're wrong. You're saying the adrenaline point is really important. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, static. Peter, yeah, it was more the reward structure for BGs, which I'm pretty sure will be modified going forward, but I'm basically doing just enough to get. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I haven't even entered Battlegrounds again since getting to Gladiator Circuit. One has been time. I've needed to really just be very focused. Like I actually thought this stream we were going to do some EQ, but I'm enjoying just talking with you guys. Here, I'll change the screen a little bit because on YouTube you're supposed to do that. Apparently that's very important. In fact, why are we on the... We don't need to be on this screen anymore. Let's do a different display. Oh no, my face is gone. Where'd I go? I'm gone. There we go, I'm back. The reward structure... How do you feel now? For season 1, it is, right? But for BG season 2, how do you feel with the idea, or do you change it all with the idea that relics are supposed to really be coming out through BGs? I could be wrong, but my understanding is that will be part of the reward structure for actually like placing high, not on the event leaderboard, but for like winning in BGs. I think that's the case. At least that was my understanding. I could be wrong. But that's my understanding. Would that make you feel a little bit better about it? I see people speaking back and forth to each other, which is awesome. I don't want to face our poor Magics and PGs. Me neither, to tell you the truth. Elton Young, what's up, my friend? Thank you so much. You know what? Because of the way the stream was going to be done, I didn't even bring up that page. Let me read that in there. Elton Young. Let me get this up, bud. Thank you so much for that donation. Gone. Oh, I spelled it wrong, man. I'm sorry. Kabam, Money Hungry, 7 Stars Relics. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Right? I mean, I'm not going to try to hide the ball. Like, and that's a different debate, I think. You know, how much, right? And I think that's the line that they're always trying to make sure they toe, but don't cross, is how do we maximize our earnings without going so far? Like my dad always had this, he had this great saying, and I've taken it with me throughout my life, obviously. And the saying was, pigs get fat, but hogs get slaughtered. So pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. And then I think that's that line, right? Of how do I get fat, you know, like nice, healthy, and fat, like in that sense of the term. But I don't want to get slaughtered. So get what you can, get what you earn, get what you deserve. But if you go too far, then you're gonna get slaughtered. And I think that's the thing. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. Faust, with BGs, I hate how much time matters more than the health attack, because you can lose a fight with 100% health. Yeah, man, I hear you, brother. And I do. Again, this isn't a you're wrong. That's your opinion, right? I can't be like your opinion's wrong. It's an opinion. I don't mind the scoring system now. I actually pretty much like it. I've watched a lot of Battlegrounds matches in the last week and a half, and I don't think we've had a single one that made me think like, yeah, that result was objectively wrong. There was a couple. There was one, and I can't even remember exactly which one it was, but it had to do with the amount of health I think a defender had left. But I think it was even one of mine. I beat the defender, but I only had like 20 or 30% health left. And my opponent had significantly more health left, but my defender still had like 4 or 5% health. And when I first saw it, I knew I had played poorly, right? Because I had taken so much damage. So I wasn't expecting to win, and I didn't really feel like I deserved to. But then when I saw that my defender was still alive, it did feel a little odd. There was this moment of like, wait a minute. The whole point's to kill, and I was like, no, the scoring system is that built in. So there's always going to be like these outliers that I think you just have to make your peace with. Like when you're designing a system for anything, especially if efficiency is a big part of it, there's going to be outliers that you just kind of need to be okay with. Like I hate to sound like an insurance adjuster here or someone of that nature. Man, that might be the perfect term. But there's always going to be something that you can't control for, or like if the hypothetical is stretched far enough, will make your system not make sense. But if you could literally drive yourself crazy or come up with no structure or something that is too strict, I'm struggling with words at the moment. If you try to like outrule those outliers, it gets really tough, man. So I hear you. There's some things I don't love, but ultimately I'm satisfied with the current situation. What's up, Snoops? People talking back and forth with each other, which is awesome. I'm looking forward to opening my first 7 star. So I'm going to try to hoard, dude. I'm going to try to hoard. I don't know if it'll work, because I'm assuming, like, if you remember the first 6 stars that were available, like I remember, I think I pulled Luke Cage. I was pumped because he was one of the best ones in the pool. In hindsight, I don't think I've ever really seriously played my 6-star Luke Cage. Like, what was I? Why did I do that? That was dumb, you know? And so it's fun. The game's fun, right? We talk about that a lot. Like, you should have fun with it. but it's that second part. It's that caveat of like, make sure you're still having fun tomorrow, right? Like live for today, but you probably plan on being awake tomorrow. So make sure you don't have so much fun today. Tomorrow's not fun. So I'm going to actually try to probably hoard them. And then if I see 7 stars that seem worth my while, like if there's actually 7 stars in the pool that I would rank over my 6 stars, that's when I'll probably start going for them. We'll see. Knowing me, day one, I'll be like, all right, we'll have a stream where we pop all our 7 stars, and I'll be cheering on my 7-star Green Goblin. But my plan going in is to not do that, is to hoard them. PWDF, if the only change is adding relics to rank rewards, it would really change how I feel about the rewards. Maybe it's that we don't know that much, but I don't think I would grind BG super hard. Oh, buddy. Dude, I hear you. I hear you. And I haven't even tried to do the grind to get to the top. Like, here, guys. In fact, maybe we should do that. Maybe I should do a BG or 2 and just get my butt kicked. I don't even know what the current meta is. But you can see I got to the glider circuit a week and a half ago, and I have literally not stepped into it. It was twofold, or it was like threefold. One was time, like we talked about. 2 was I really do want to try to win my. I know I'm not going to win my own tournament. I mean, I'm going to try my best, right? I'm not going to go in with a negative mindset. I'm trying to win, but I'm aware of how good the players in the tournament are, and I think that in doing that, if I started playing all the different glider circuit metas, then I'm going to hurt myself for doing the... I'll probably start triggering the node, the explosive personality a lot. So a little bit is just kind of like trying to keep a competitive advantage if I can, or whatever advantage I have. And then the other was the grind just didn't sound fun. It didn't for the rewards that were there. I'm having more fun with the tournament and things like that. So I hear you. Now, if those rewards were bumped up a little bit, let's say, and if relics were one of the main ways that if relics were introduced through those ranked rewards. Now, again, I'm not talking about the events. I'm not talking about the solo event here. You guys can see it. I'm not talking about that. If they were just introduced, second, guys, my wife is sending me a message. If those were all introduced through the actual leaderboard in Battlegrounds, I'd be much more likely to get in there and try to climb my way up into the top 1,000, 2,005. I'm not sure what the markers are. El Chino, you're excited? Nice, dude. JB Gamer, what's up, dude? Thanks for being here. I'm just bummed. I think you recently joined my Discord server. Thank you so much for being there, my friend. I'm just bummed that I spent so much time developing my sister restaurant and it's going to lose value. See, that's where I will never tell someone they're wrong. I'm not. That's an opinion. That's how you feel. I think it's very valid. And it'd be silly for someone to argue that your 6-star roster is not going to lose value. Yes, and that sucks. I hope that the Kabam does a good enough job providing challenges with these different modes that you have fun continuing on. That's my hope, and I think that's their hope too. The fact that relics will now be a factor in your top prestige that may be nerfed in the future is kind of scary. The fact that relics will now be a factor in your top prestige and that they may be nerfed in the future. Okay, I think I'm reading you correctly now. All the fact that the same relics can't be used in most of the content in the game. They can't be used in AQ and War, right? If I remember correctly, but they can be used in Battlegrounds. Correct me where I'm wrong there, because I'm sure I'm wrong on some of that. Prestige 2. The Prestige game, guys, if there's one aspect of the game that I could ever just say, just don't do it, it's the Prestige one. I myself even really thought about stepping back in, and I was still going to do it in 4 Loki, obviously. But I think I'm going to go out and I'm going to get Immortal Iron Man, or Infamous Iron Man. I keep making that mistake. And I'm going to rank up Surfer, and I'm just going to have the best prestige I can and really help my alliance. And then to my own good luck, I think, it's just serendipity though. Coincidence was the CCP kind of found out about this information a little while ago, And I did have that same kind of feeling. I was like, whoa, now there's a whole nother factor in my prestige that I'm not going to go out chasing those relics. I want to just kind of earn them and have some fun with them. I don't want to be popping a ton of crystals for them. At least not like a cab sort of crystal. And so that really worked out well for me. It kind of like kicked myself upside the head. I was like, dude, you know how much the prestige game sucks. Like, it is a constant, never-ending thing. Every time a new champion comes out, you're sitting there like, okay, do I gotta pop for this champion now? Do I gotta pop for that one? Can I save my 6 stones? Because I'd love to put them into Nick Fury because I want that second life to last a long time. Because I really love Battlegrounds, and that'd be great for me on attack and defensively. But no, I got to save these 6 stones because I really need to get my next infamous Iron Man to 6200, and then I've got to save an Awakening Gem for him, and then so I got to buy that deal, and then it's on and on and on. It's on and on and on. I mean, if that's what you enjoy, I'm not going to yuck your yum. Go for it. But it's not for me. And anytime people ask me for advice on that stuff, I'm like, just stay away from it. Just stay away from it. Find an alliance that you really like, that's playing the game the way you like, and just try to be happy there. Faust, hey Vega, what's with the 6-star feature crystal this time around? I've seen many people get 1 feature out of the 20 crystals. My brother in 22 got 1 Omega Sentinel and 2 Hulkling. It's RNG, my friend. It's RNG. I know there's a lot of like, this has been cool. This has been like almost like an Ask Me Anything. An unintentional one. I know, I'm going to actually look for the piece of paper. Oh, here it is. It's on my desk. I'll hold it up. I know you guys can't see it. That whole like draft show thing I did was where you guys couldn't see what I was holding up. I didn't know until the end. Mike told me. It was pretty funny, actually. So I had to flip a coin recently to determine who was going to draft, who was going to invite for the Battlegrounds tournament, because it became very clear that there was a discernible pattern, and it created an advantage for people. We didn't know. None of it was intentional, but it took us about a week and a half to find out. I'll try to shorten this story. So I looked at all the matchups there were going to be for the rest of the week, and I got out a coin, a literal quarter, and I flipped it, and there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. There was 11 matchups. I counted 12 the first time. I was like, pretty sure it was 11. There was 11 matchups. The coin came up heads 9 times. 9 times out of 11. And 8 of them were in a row. And like, if it wasn't me actually flipping the coin, the human nature part of it, because I didn't see it, because I wasn't involved with it, would have been like, something's wrong there. There's no way. Like, if it was 60-40, maybe 70-30, sure, I get it. But the fact that I actually flipped the coin, I saw it happen, I had the list right in front of me, I accepted it. And so I think that's just what happens to us with crystals. It's like, it's frustrating as hell, right? And then that taps into our thought that like, something's up. That something's up, something's amiss. And we start to come up with these theories. Either that, or in 10 years, Kabam's going to get sued because someone will be a whistleblower, and Kabam's going to get sued for a lot of money. So I think it's one of those two things. Right now, I'm starting off with, I think it's the former. Spin, I'll take 7 stars over the death of the game. Agreed. I am in that boat. I think a lot of people are concerned that they will be bringing the death of the game, but we'll see. I've been playing this game for so long. I mean, I remember when 12.0 was supposed to be the death of the game. So, yeah. Snoops, what's up, buddy? Thanks so much for being here, my friend. I am doing well. This has turned into like a fun AMA. I watched DLL video. In fact, let's just turn it into one. If you guys have other sorts of questions, I will try to catch up to the chat. So let's just turn it into it. Doesn't mean I will answer any question, but I'll look at them. I watched DLL video on it. He explained everything very well. With Striker saying you can send me. Yeah, dude. So I had no idea on that. I heard that part 2 today, and I was like, there was 2 parts for me. One was like, DLL, how could you not tell me? But then I was like, oh no, it's his job. He shouldn't tell me these things. And then also, that's really freaking cool. That is really freaking cool. Because how tough are some of those fights where they're like debuff immune or stun immune, and you've got champions like Wasp or America Chavez, or just you just want to stun. That seems like that'll be really cool. I am very excited about that. Adding a whole new group of sim stars would require making more resources available, correct? Would hate to choose between ranking. You mean like to level them up, Doug? Like, no, I believe it'll still be like ISO. There'll be catalysts involved. There might become some new ones, like a new version of tier, like it'd be like tier 8 basic, I guess, or something like that, right? But I imagine it'll follow the similar pattern as like 3 to 4 stars, 4 to 5 stars, and 5 to 6 stars, where there will be some point where you're making a choice, where you're really very much having to make a choice. So I want to rank up my 5, or do I want to rank up my 6? Rank up my 6 or rank up my 7? Remember, spending on the game is an expense and never an investment. At best, it's a depreciated expense. I used to be in Dolphin Spender, now more mindfully, so I don't forget it later. Absolutely right. Absolutely. Sometimes I forget, but that's why I try to start all my opening videos with the idea where I'm like, this is not a good idea. This is purely for fun. This is for the entertainment. It's like going to Las Vegas and playing blackjack. Play with money that you're totally okay losing. You are paying for that experience. Yeah, I could not agree more. That's very well said. Very well said. Slavon, what's up, buddy? Adding prestige to relics was a horrible. I'm not in love with that. I'm not in love with that. And I'm not sure what the reason for that was. I really don't know what the reason for that was at all. When I originally heard it, I thought it was going to be an equal part, like your 5 champion prestige combined with your relic and then averaged out. And I've since been told, no, that's not the case. Relics will make up a smaller portion. I don't know how much. And I wonder if they're still figuring that out. I truly just don't know. But I'm not a fan. I was not a fan of that. Period. How it affects me personally is I decided I wasn't shooting for #1 prestige anyway. So I don't care. I want to be good in war. I want to be good in battlegrounds or have as much fun in those two as I can. And I will obviously try to rank 4th prestige a little bit because it helps my whole alliance out. But my alliance's goal isn't to be in that top 5, 10 prestige game. So that's just how, that's like me. That's me trying to take my own advice that I give out to everyone is play the game that you want to play it. And then just tune out the noise. So like for me, it's like, I'm going to consider that noise. And if there's a group of players that want to bust their butt and get that top relic prestige, then like, awesome. That's great. I'm really glad they're getting that. Simon, Adam's agreeing with you. Cat crystals for a shot at the 6-star relic. I have a feeling if that's how it works, I'll probably do a video or two to have some fun where we're like, all right, let's see what it's like. And then hopefully I put it away. Who the Tails ones? The Tails ones were Slayer versus Slaymon. So Slaymon is going, I think it was inviting first, and Fell versus BMcG. And BMcG and Fell went earlier this morning. BMcG put out a standalone video on that. Slayer and Slaymon are going tomorrow at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. The Slaymon put out a really awesome video promoting it. It's really cool. They're friends, so it's a friendly banter, which is allowing them to really like jump into it. It's awesome. They're like awesome participants in this tournament. They're both incredibly skilled. They put on a great show, and they've really embraced the whole thing. I'm so happy to have them both in there. To Bonza Vega, I'm looking. You're watching the tournament. 11. Thank you. There's no way people aren't learning things from this. I hope so. Thank you to you and all the fellows that are taking the time to help. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate all the compliments there. We're learning along the way. I feel like if you watch the stream from day one to watching the streams now, I think it's improved significantly. I've learned a lot, and we're already working on tournament 2. I already started talking to people. I have more people in it than I have space for. It's going to be awesome. Enjoy tournament 1, but just know tournament 2 is coming your way a little sooner than I thought it would be. And the community is going to be really involved. I think the community is going to really enjoy this one in new ways compared to tournament 2. Ask me anything, huh? Is Scorpion good? Let me think on that. Maybe we'll have to put up a poll, Troy. Faith Fire, serious question. I fell for that. I literally fell for that. I'm in the same boat, trying to be way more mindful of spending. Me too, Sly. Let's help each other out with that stuff. Like if a deal comes out, we should DM each other. Or maybe we should set up, we do that in the Discord a little bit too. We kind of all talk about deals and stuff. If it's anime, could you drop the beard routine? So I did. Saquon, is that after the New York Giants running back? I'm just curious because he's great in my opinion, but it's probably something else that I don't know. I wish I could tell you guys I do something special. I don't. I don't. I use it's just a hair oil that I guess she's a stylist. She's so talented. She's a stylist, but I consider her more to be like a barber because I just enjoy hanging out with her. She's a cool lady. In fact, Shantae, if you're out there, hey buddy, she recently started playing the game and she sent me some screenshots of her account and stuff. She's an awesome lady, and I enjoy hanging out with her. And she gave me some. It's literally hair oil. It's not even like beard oil. And so I use that once a day. And she trims it up for me, and that's it. And I don't diet. Like as you start to approach my age and stuff, there's that temptation to dye your hair, and I don't do that. You have to rank up relics too. I think they'll have separate materials. Oh, I understand. Yeah, I think DLL mentioned though that they're still gonna cost gold. But yeah, as far as all that other stuff, I have no idea. I have no clue. As someone who's got a stupid amount of gold, I'm happy that it's going to be gold and not some other asset that I need to go grind or farm. And fortunately, DLL also sent his video that the econ team was aware of this and how that people are already stressed for gold, and that they do plan to have more gold influx into the game. I'm sure it won't be like a waterfall. You know, it's not going to be like a dam breaking. I don't want to. I think we all know better than to think that, but hopefully there should be more in there. I can't wait to ascend my 4 stars to finish greatest challenge. I wonder if that's going to be a thing. Snoop, I'm just wondering if the game will turn into an endless loop of chasing the new. Snoop, I mean this with all. I'm not joking. That is what the game is. Like, that is 100%. If you let it, that's exactly what the game is. Like, it's been that way with 4 stars. Like, that's just how it's been. That's one of the things I enjoy about it. Doesn't sound like a self promo. It's not. And Snoops, you know me. You know it's not. That's what I love about like with the rankings team, the MCoC Lobby helps with. Like, we do a tier list, but it's not to tell you need to go get these champions. One of the biggest things we're trying to get across is look at all of these tiers. You can get so much done with all of these champions that aren't Dr. Doom. Yes, Doom will most efficiently help you clear content in many cases, but all these champions that aren't him. And so don't kill yourself trying to get him. If you really enjoy, I don't know, Dragon Man's gonna be able to help you do a lot. Rank him up. You know, it'll work. Enjoy that challenge of the game. We know of Relic Cap Crystals. There will be Relic Awakening Gem. There might be, dude. There really might be. Static. What did Static say? I can't wait to say. Yeah, okay, it was a good idea. On a serious note, I'm conflicted with the news today. I absolutely love this game and have been playing since March 2015. But I just think there was something better than slapping a star on. That's really how I used to feel. And I have a channel member, like, yeah, well, he was in here earlier. He's my longest running channel member. It's either him or Z. I'm not sure who. I think it might be Z, but they are very close together. And he's, I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't want to speak for him, but he's disappointed in this news. And it doesn't surprise me. It's because, we have a members chat and I read it. I don't get to write that much in it these days, but I read it. And it doesn't surprise me. The one thing I'll say is on this, it's just kind of the counterpoint or whatever, right? Because we want to try to balance that. Is like, I don't know what else there was to do, though. So I don't know. I've even myself been sensing them coming for a while. Like some of the stuff that really made me think like, oh shoot, 7 stars are really soon, is the way featured crystals started working. Obviously, Faust has the example where it's just going horribly. But more often than not, like if you go on my Discord and you look at like bragging accomplishments or you look at crystal openings, like people are pulling Hulklings left and right. And there's like, I don't know how many people are on there. It was a decent chunk of people. But people are getting Rintra, they're getting Hulkling. And I was like, 6 stars are not easy to pull, but I could never remember a time in the game where the highest variety of champion was this easy to pull, or this relatively easy, okay? And that's an important distinction. I'm not saying they're easy to pull. I'm saying I've never seen them this relatively easy to pull. And so I think as a result, I started making my peace with 7 stars well before I was aware they were coming out. Hey, Vega, not happy about this announcement 7 stars, but what do you think the border color will be? You think it'll be green? I'm seeing that a lot. I thought I still kind of think it might be orange. I kind of selfishly want it to be purple. The Slammer promo is the greatest video currently in it. It really is. It really is. So just thank you, dude. It is one thing that I actually get. You know, sometimes strangers just randomly compliment you. My beard is one of the things that people do that on. Ghost Dog, what's up, dude? Yo, man, popping in before my stream tonight. Hey, buddy, are you able to link Lefty's promo video for the BG tournament you're putting on? If you can link it, I'd love to make it the pinned comment. I don't know how much longer we're gonna do this impromptu AMA that started, but I'd love to do it. Lefty did a great promo. Ghost Dog's putting on a very, very cool Battlegrounds tournament. Jojoba oil is a secret to a good beer. There you go. I'm going to miss DLL. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. Don't pick up hurricanes. All right. Yeah, I mean, you have a point. I guess that's what a lot of the games are. They're story-oriented. Yeah, Snoops, I mean, it's just so different, right? Like, and that took me a long time in this game. Like, I started playing it thinking it was going to be like the games I grew up playing. Where, like, you tried to beat the game. You bought a cartridge, you spent your $50 or your $40 or your $60, and you tried to beat the game. Sports games were a little bit different, and I think that's part of why I gravitated to them so much. Because you could, like, play with your friend, and you're constantly playing against each other, and whatever. But even then, they put out a new video version every year. And there was always something that made you think like you needed to go buy it. So it's just really different. Hey, check out this this trailer, guys. It's seriously awesome. Lefty did a great job with it. And it gives you the information you're going to need to follow that tournament. Lags, what's up, dude? I was testing out my stream because I've been having a little bit of difficulty streaming some of the Battlegrounds tournament. And I think I got it all sorted. And I even like, I don't even remember what I titled this one. But then people started coming, hanging out. We started talking. We got into some deep stuff on the announcements today and all that. And yeah, so here we are. Thanks for being here. But I'm going to update this. Oz fan, I don't want to get you excited, dude. You've had enough disappointment today. But I really thought they were going to be orange, or that if I had to guess, that'd be my guess. And I'll tell you guys why. Actually, it's kind of weird. Is years ago, and there's part of me that's wondering if it was like a stupid dream or something, but I don't think it was. I found this like document or website on the internet, and I think it was even before 5 stars came out. And they were claiming to have like this leaked thing, and they had 5 stars, and they had them as a red border, and they had blue. They had 6 stars, and they were a blue border. And this was years ago, but my memory of that document was that there were 7 stars, or that at least there was something at the end. There was something beyond the 6 stars, and they had a blue border. So I don't know. I have no idea. I have actually tried to find that site again, and I have not been able to. But that's how it was. So I'm cheering for orange. Easy 1977. Read last for sure, dude. And thank you for the donation, by the way, Oz fan and Easy. Why can't I find it?
I found it. Hey guys.
Hey, speaking of the man himself, you've been coming up a lot today, buddy.
Hopefully
you're pretty quiet again, so I'm going to raise your volume, okay?
Okay. I was also turning away from my mic. But yeah, he asked about the econ team adjusting ISO. That has been asked. And they said they're looking at it. And I don't mean in like a dismissive, like, yeah, we're looking at it way. I mean, like they said they were looking at that at the same time they said they were looking at gold. And there has been news that we can't share with you yet on like some progress on the gold front. So I'm hopeful on ISO.
DLL, two questions. So don't answer first. Like, let it sink in. If you're aware of what the border color on the 7 stars is, are you allowed to tell us?
They did. I think Kabam Mike told us. Lagacy is correct.
We're allowed to say that publicly?
I've already spilled the beans on that.
I didn't know if that was allowed to be said, so I was trying to save you. I was like,
I don't know if it was allowed to be said either, but Lags put it out
there. But I put it in my thumbnail, so it's green. I'm sure like the shards will be green too, so we would have seen soon enough.
So I think Kabam Bam here, who I do not believe is actually a Kabam employee, but it doesn't matter to me. It's Eagle Green. I'm going with Eagle Green. Fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. Lags asked the question, is how do I feel about 7 stars? I'm not like jumping up and down. I'm not doing cartwheels. I'm also not upset. I've been making my peace with it for a long time. You probably didn't hear it. I did like a long thing on, like I realized over the last 3 or 4 months that the highest variety champion star level has never been easier to get in this game. And I mean it relative based. Like, it's not easy to get Star Hulkling. But I've never seen, like on my Discord server, we have a channel for like champion pools, crystal openings. And I've never seen so many people being like, just got Rintra, just got Hulkling. And I just looked at it and I was like, it has never been this easy to get the highest variety champion. 7 stars have to be coming. Like, they just do. And so I've been making my peace with it for a while. And as a result, and now we know that like Incursions is getting an update. War, it sounds like they're constantly looking into that. I mean, I feel like there's stuff maybe happening. Battlegrounds has been amazing to me. And I think there's still room for improvement, but I feel like they're trying to do that. And so I'm more trying to look at 7 stars, not as replacing my roster, but that by the time I'm actually ranking up 7 stars, I'm no longer hoping to pull 7-star Doom again. I'm hoping to pull 7-star Rintra and Wiccan and whoever else comes out between now and a year and a half from now. So it's not like about replacing my roster. It's more about getting the champions I want to tackle whatever problems and modes Kabam is putting in front of me. That's how I'm approaching it. I'm not going to try to tell someone they're wrong for not approaching it that way. What about you guys? I mean, I know you guys both put out videos on it, but if you guys had like a 2-minute spiel on how you're feeling, I'd love to hear it. I'm sure the audience would too.
You want to go first, DLL?
Sure. I mean, Campo in one of our chats specifically pointed out, like, for anyone who's known me for a long time, I was very attached to some of my top 5 stars. In particular, the Hyperion that I used to use all the time. Like, it's what got me into Masters War. And eventually he stopped keeping up. And, like, not even just in War. I mean, like, I felt like he wasn't keeping up in Act content. He wasn't worth using in Incursions anymore. Like, I literally put him on the bench and only kind of brought him out every once in a while out of nostalgia. I obviously have a rank 4 6-star Hyperion now, so it's not that I gave up on him on in the long term. But kind of like what you were saying, Vega, in the time in between where I kind of stopped using him and replaced him, like, I fell in love with Odin. I fell in love with Cersei, with Venom Pool. I'm probably forgetting somebody. I learned to appreciate Surfer and Airwalker. Like, I know that that's not how everyone interacts with the game, so I'm not trying to say that there's no loss. I'm not trying to take that away from anyone, but to me, it's very similar to how Act 7 and 8.1 had the class-locked 3-4 gems, where that kind of forced you to do something a little bit different than exactly what you would have planned if you had full control. And for the long-term trajectory of the game, I think those end up being good things. They kind of force us out of our comfort zones. They, encourage exploration. And I think that it has ultimately made me enjoy the game more. And so I think that is where this can go in a similar vein. Like, I feel like that's roughly what 6 stars did for me, even with all of the things that were done wrong surrounding them. And so I'm hopeful that 7 stars can do the same, while relics are making the game significantly more interesting because they are an absolute blast. And while this time they're making a point of softening the reset.
What do you think, Lags?
Look, I've been actually thinking about it a lot. I think I'm gonna make a video talking about like 7 stars specifically, kind of like my approach. But basically, how I'm kind of looking at it is, you know, with 7 stars coming, we've already seen 6-star materials. We're getting a lot more of them, like, and especially like Sig Stones, Awakening Gems. Like, these are the materials that Kabam did not want to give out for a long time, and now they're finally, you know, giving out a good amount. And so my approach is literally just going to be like, screw 7 stars. Like, I'm not even going to care about 7 stars for at least the next 2 years. Just does not matter at all to me. I'm just going to keep focusing on my 6-star roster, getting my 6 stars to Sig 200, and then ascending them. And that's just where I'm focusing. Like, I'm not concerned at all about 7 stars. People can chase that. I'll like still get some shards, still do some openings, but like, I'm not fussed about it. 6 stars are still having my focus for a long time.
Right. And like, not even the biggest, most intense whales are going to have 7 stars at all for what? 5, 6, 7 months, depending on what
like
spring means.
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing to keep in mind, is that this is not like, hey, 7 stars are coming tomorrow. This is, hey, relics are coming soon. We're really excited about that, but we don't want you to think this means 7 stars are not coming.
Yeah.
We don't want to lie to you by omission.
Yeah.
And so we have to share this news with you now, well ahead of time. And at the same time, even though it hasn't been fully ironed out, here's this thing about Ascension because we want to do it better this time.
Hey, real quick, because we got a question on it. And the story I told about the leaked document I found on the internet like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, that was a true story. I actually really did think 7-star orders.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it like 2 years ago.
I really thought they would be orange, and the document really did have 6 stars as blue. I have not seen the green ones. Have either of you seen them?
I have not, no.
Yeah.
I've seen mock-ups. Like, I'm not going to pretend I haven't seen 7 stars, but I will say that, like, the last time I saw them on defense, like, they didn't have the border. So I legitimately do not know what it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, people are interested. I think it's cool that people are even interested in it, because I know I'm interested. I do hope they're kind of an eagle green. What's up, Mr. Fernandez? I think there was another question, because we got Lagacy and DLL both on call. You guys have been listening to me do an AMA for about an hour. If you got questions for them, let them know. I don't know how long either of them's intending to be here. Lags, it was interesting to hear you talk about that. And DL, I feel like you didn't say this specifically, but I think it fits. Is one of the things I was saying earlier in the stream is, I'm going to do everything I can to not open 7 stars until there's 7 stars in the pool that I would even consider ranking. Because that was a mistake I made with 6. Is I was like, oh, I'm not going to open. And then as soon as they like went live, I was like, I can't wait to pull Luke Cage. And Luke Cage, he's a fine champion. He's fine. But I do not believe I've ever seriously played my 6. I think there's like a war video out there somewhere. But why did I do that? That was so not smart, you know?
You're breaking my heart, man.
Dude, he's fine. He's a fine champion.
I know. I know.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, DLL is going to be like... But, you know, you wanted him awakened too, right? And,
oh, yeah. No, my 6-star still isn't awakened. I hear you.
So there we go. That's my saving grace on this one. And so I'm like, I'm going to try to do that with 7 stars. I'm going to try. Knowing me, I will fail miserably, and I'll make a video about it, like the day they go live. But I'm really going to try. I'm going to try to be... you know, a savvy player of the game and just continue to work on those 6s. And then when it seems like I really might go 7s and there's champions in the 7-star crystal that I truly would, and I don't mean like a 1 out of 24 chance. I mean, like, give me a 30% chance or 20% chance. Then I'll go.
Like minimum the equivalent of like an incursion crystal pool.
Yeah, great. So we have a question here. From Easy, a channel member. So let's go with that one first. when 7 stars show up, will we have all the resources to take them to R2, and will the R2 be equivalent to? So we were talking about this. Like, what's the equivalency rating in that? I felt like I wasn't really excited to use my 6 stars over my 5 stars until my 6 stars hit at least rank 2, and in most cases rank 3. Do we know how that's going to kind of measure up as far as 7s to 6s? And how will Ascension factor in there? Do you know that?
There's a lot of things there.
Yeah. Also, no, just kidding.
I mean, I'll try to roughly go one by one. For one thing, we do not know exactly how Ascension is going to line up on that because, like we said, like this news relative to the timeline of 7 stars coming out and Ascension being a thing, this news is extremely early. So Ascension has not been finalized. There's very little I can say there, aside from the fact that it is not turning 6 stars into 7 stars. It is taking 6 stars and making them better.
Okay.
Yeah, it will. There's not a whole lot else we know other than the fact that it is supposed to keep them competitive. And they went all the way down to 4 stars can also be ascended because this is supposed to be helping newer and lower level players as well.
Out of curiosity, you said we a few times. Was that the we as in we the player base, or is that we the developers of Kabam?
Don't even remember. Yeah, probably both, honestly. Like that's been a kind of a weird thing for me because I am very much identified like with both.
Yes.
I genuinely say we, meaning both.
Okay.
So that's fair to ask me.
And I apologize. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot there. I just wanted to clarify for the audience, but also you, I think. And Lags, what were you? It sounded like you had something in there.
Yeah, so on 7 stars, I'm trying to think about exactly, but I think at this point we're kind of allowed to say that, like, there will be I'll try and speak generally. There will be an overlap between the highest 6 stars and the lowest 7 stars. But, it won't be like... Basically, 7 stars, from a rank perspective, will kind of get out of range of 6 stars a little faster. And that's both to make them feel meaningful and because Ascension is going to kind of close that distance. Like, because there's room for a rank 2 7 star to be stronger if 6 stars can be ascended, right?
Yeah.
The other thing I want to say on the 6 to 7 star like transformation thing, because I know a lot of people were hoping for that. Something to keep in mind is that if Ascension was a strict upgrade, if you went from a maxed out rank 5 6 star and you could turn them into a 7 star, then that would mean 7 stars at their minimum would have to be stronger than the maxed out 6 stars, or nobody would ascend them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 6 stones become a question too.
Well, it's not just that, but that means that it's not possible for there to be an overlap. It means that if somebody else pulls a brand new 7 star, they are automatically stronger than a maxed out 6 star, because otherwise they wouldn't be worth ascending. And so I know that that's what a lot of people are hoping for, but it actually like isn't compatible with the softer reset that is the goal.
But I mean, if you like did take a 6 star to a 7 star, like prestiged it up, maybe there would be like a penalty of, you know, you're making your champion weaker now by doing this, but in the long run, eventually, your champion will get stronger than it was.
Then it just comes down to how do you balance that appropriately?
Yeah, that would be.
I think like, probably because of Mirrorverse, or for just folks who've invested so much. I think money really. It's just I think it's tough to swallow. I'm not coming down on a good or bad. It's just more tough to swallow. which kind of reminds me, actually, again, because you guys both seem to know more on this than I do. And they both put out awesome videos today. Please check them out, right? Like this was totally impromptu. I didn't know Ethan was going to join me today. So it's cool that we're directly getting to ask them the questions. They also have videos. You should check them out, please. This isn't meant to replace that. Do we know why Prestige was included with Relics? I was really surprised when I heard that. Or, like, even if you don't know why, just like it was asked, and I was like, I don't know why, and I can't even. That was like one of the few things where I'm not unhappy, but I'm not happy either.
Right. So there are a couple different axes to this, and they're both like pay to win and free to play axes to this. Because obviously, like Easy and Clown are both saying, "Oh, it's obviously money," but keep in mind that relics are going to be the primary reward identity of Battlegrounds, and not the alliance events, not the solo events everyone's talking about, but the actual gladiator circuit, climbing the ladder, the thing you can only do if you win a lot. This is one way for very skilled players to get an edge on the prestige thing without having the very newest top 5 prestige champion. Now there are caveats and complications you can add to that, but I really do want to underline that. I mean, Clown, you know what game we play. But the point is that it is definitely more attainable to get at least some relics from the gladiator circuit without spending a significant amount of money than it is to get a brand new champion like Infamous Iron Man without buying calves or going hard in the arena.
It will also make the scoring and like the kind of the reward structure of the actual leaderboard on Battlegrounds make a lot more sense. Like even when it first came out, and I was like, oh, sure, sounds good, because I didn't read it that in depth. I was skimming it, and then people were like, no, look at this, and then you took another look at it. Even though I was like, I'm sure it'll get changed. Like everyone just settle in, it'll get changed. It was still a little bit of eye catching. Like you're like something's missing here, right? Like, and I'm hopeful that it starts to make a little more sense as we go. Lags, you're someone who's obviously pushing. That's the skill set to do well in the Battlegrounds. Do relics entice you to push harder? Does it not matter?
Yeah, very, very interesting. So I've been giving this a lot of thought, and the way I've kind of been tackling it is right now, I'm using my Elder Marks to try to maximize my rewards for the solo and alliance events, get as much points in that as I can, and I do want to place, in at least Celestial for Gladiator Circuit, get a nice chunk of trophy tokens. But getting number 1 or top 10, it doesn't matter too much this season. But next season, with relics there, then I'm planning to, not focus as much with Elder Marks and just grind a lot with energy to try to get really high. And then I think with just skill, and having a decent roster, you'll be able to get pretty high with just using energy, so you don't have to spend on Elder Marks. And then the relics would be worth placing for. They seem pretty good, so.
The other thing, obviously part of it is more naked money, but I wanted to just point out that you very much can look at it that way. It is less obvious money than, hey, here's Infamous Iron Man, he has higher prestige than Surfer, don't you want it, right? And I will say, Scarco, because I can see that spiraling a little bit, and so I need to talk about it, is no, it's not going to be that is the only place you can get relics, alright? It's just the best place to get the best relics.
Yeah, because I think what people need to understand is that relics are going to have rarities, and there'll be lower rarity relics available to a lot more people in other areas than just Battlegrounds, right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the distribution is going to be, but it's not only going to be Battlegrounds.
That's just going to be the highest rarity ones.
Right.
The best version of these relics.
There's a lot here, but I will say the other thing is that as much as a lot of us just want to play the game competitively, there is a side of the game, and I don't say this negatively, where some people legitimately, the way they enjoy this game is getting really large collections of stuff.
Yeah.
And they like that mattering for rewards. That's why prestige matters in AQ. It doesn't matter in war, it doesn't matter in battlegrounds, it doesn't matter in incursions, it doesn't matter in the solo event, or in the story content. But it matters in AQ because that is a valid way to play the game. And so tying relics into that system, I feel like is kind of inevitable and makes sense, because champions are part of that system, and relics are much closer to champions without being champions than they are to being like a boost. If that makes sense. Like, this is another part of the game. This is another thing to collect. And I know a lot of people are saying this is another thing to collect negatively. I honestly don't see it as a negative. And it's not just because I work for Kabam, it's because I've played with them and they're fun. I cannot freaking wait to add some of these onto my favorite characters.
Mr. Fernandez is asking a question that it is a concern of mine. A little bit. Is it like, at what point is there any consideration, or do you guys have concerns about? So I do realize you're both gonna have different perspectives on this. The game potentially becoming too complicated. Like, we often talk about how complex it is, and knowing all these champions' abilities. I think Battlegrounds highlights that, because you, in the minute, in the second, have to make decisions trying to recall all of these things. In war, at least, often you've got amazing war planners like I do. And I know you guys have both, and DL, you are one of those amazing war planners, so you have time to plan ahead and think about it. But a new player coming into the game, or someone who's just wants to sit on the toilet and play for 15 minutes, is there any concern about this being too complex or turning off your new player?
I'm sure there is, but I will say that there's been a real focus in the relic, in the design of relics, to try and make these things that basically work for you. This is not, think about the Captain Falcon synergy with Captain America, where you have to do well-timed blocks and can't do normal blocks to keep these Furies up to make Sam's damage better, right?
Yeah.
That is explicitly not what relics are. They have the striker, and so that is one thing to get used to, but most of the abilities are supposed to be pretty passive and enhance the characters without adding an actual, without adding a significant amount of in-fight complexity.
Interesting.
Now, as to the overall complexity, yeah, there's something there, but
yeah, it's going to be a lot to learn.
Kind of evolves.
Yeah. Lax, did you have thoughts on that? I want to give you a chance.
No, go ahead.
In many ways, I often compare this game to, I think you're probably used to hearing me say this. I talk about how different this game is from when I was a kid. You'd buy the cartridge and you'd try to beat it. And then in sports games, they'd come out with a new one every year. But, you beat Legend of Zelda, and maybe you try to go through and beat it in a different way, or explore more, or whatever, right? And in this game, it just was so different than anything I'd ever played, as far as its monetization and therefore I think the way it was structured was it was more about keeping you entertained month after month after month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel then this might be a statement that I changed my mind on. So, because I've never really publicly said this, especially with two players like this on the call. Do you remember when the input issues started happening, and I was like, look, they're not bothering me. They're not bothering me not because I like them, but because of the way Kabam's actually responding, in that I feel like they're building a new game. I feel like they're not just trying to patch it over. If they just patched it over like they've been doing for forever, then that wouldn't necessarily concern me, but they're not really looking at the underlying issue. And I feel like what they're telling us is they're looking at the underlying issue. And if that is correct, To me, that's a great sign because it feels like they're almost building a new game. Instead of creating Marvel Contest of Champions 2, they're not really going to make us fully start over. They're building this like new game. And this might be like, what's it called? Like not self-fulfilling prophecy, but motivated reasoning or DL. I know you know what I'm thinking. But I feel like, we've got Battlegrounds now, and there's like Relics, and then 7 Stars are coming out, and Incursions is getting a revamp. I really feel like they built a whole new game, and I feel like this is just part of it. And this game, it's not the same as the cartridge game, but is not as much of just a transaction game as I think we've experienced the last few years. Could be totally wrong, but I'm very excited about what I feel like they're trying to do. I realize that's almost impossible to agree or disagree with because there's a lot in there, and it's hard to prove any of it. But that's the first time I've really tried to like put together why I'm so excited about the future.
I get what you mean because I feel like Battlegrounds is an entirely new mode, right? They're trying to redo Incursions, and they've explicitly said like, this is the first step, making Incursions playable solo. This is not going to be the final word on that game mode. I can tell you that like people are actively working on AQ and War to try and make them better. I mean, people say like, there's so much, how do you keep up with it? I know Vega and I have said this explicitly to each other. On a certain level, I don't think you have to.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, is that like if you have to keep up with everything, if that's the only way for everyone to play, then everyone is playing the exact same game. And like that was one of the reasons a lot of people wanted Battlegrounds, right? So that like maybe you're a player where you do some War, you do Battlegrounds, you don't do AQ. And like maybe somebody else doesn't really enjoy Battlegrounds, they enjoy the collection aspect more, they have better prestige, they do AQ, they do War. Like I think that the game is headed to a place where you can mix and match a bit more.
Yeah,
like even Incursion. If you look at like Incursion, some people play Incursions for gold. So that means that like two of the primary spots to get gold are like Incursions and Arena. They're very, very different. Incursions has random nodes. You have to pay attention. You often play it with a partner. Arena is just like grinding while watching TV. That's 2 different ways to engage with the game. And I think, kind of speaking to Vega's point, going forward, there is an intent for the game to be on some level like a mix and match and put together your own experience that makes sense for you. And I think some of what you're seeing is high-level players who kind of were doing everything, coming to terms with not being able to do everything the way a whole bunch of other people who had less time to play this game had already been playing for a long time.
Yeah.
Kind of like Skarko's saying.
Lags, I know DL and I just both talked a lot. Did you have anything on that?
I just wanted to answer Music Man Joe's question in chat. He's asking, will Relics be a reason Kabam ends up stops buffing champs? And so we actually asked Kabam this, and they said that no, that's not the goal behind Relics. They don't want to use it as a way to not buff champs anymore. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about that, DLL.
Yeah, and I will say this is also related to the people who are like, well, why aren't there 2 buffs a week or 2 buffs a month anymore?
A week, imagine.
Yeah, Jesus. And like, it is about capacity, and I don't just mean like, oh, people are leaving the company, we don't have as much stuff to do it. That's not it at all. Kabam has hired 4 champion designers in the past year, including myself. Capacity is expanding, but something to keep in mind, like, I can't speak directly to this on the coding side, but like, I went back and I looked at the code for Agent Venom. It is incredibly simple. And then you look at the code for somebody like Infamous Iron Man, and to keep things interesting, like, things are just way more complex than they used to be. And that is what people want, right? Like, even from the buffs. It's like, oh, yeah. Drax has like 3 abilities, give him an actual kit, right?
Yeah, it's basically like making a whole new character.
Right, but not only is it making a whole new character, it's making a whole new character where you have to take into account how does this line up against the other 230 characters? As opposed to back in the old day where you would make a kit and you're like, how does this line up against the other 40? You have to take into account, like, literally hundreds of synergies. You have to take into account more game modes, with more nodes, with different kinds of health pools. Some where how fast you kill the opponent matters, some where it doesn't. Like, you now have to take into account relics, and so there's so much to do to make sure that those buffs are actually decent. I mean, I want to say good, but I know that not everybody likes the buffs that I like, so we'll just go with decent as a baseline. It's just difficult, and that means that, you know, putting out 2 a month just wasn't sustainable. But we are intentionally planning for that. Like Lag said, the point is to keep up with the buff program. The point is to stay on top of all of these things. And, you know, I saw somebody say, like, how are you going to deal with 7 stars with how many bad champions there are? I mean, that's the buff program. We're trying to make it so that there are fewer bad champions.
Sorry to interrupt. How the heck do you beat her if you don't have a 6-star Shang-Chi?
You can sidestep her.
Oh, that's right. You went over that in your video.
It's... But, like, she is a little tricky because that's my primary tip.
She's not too bad. You just gotta be careful when the haymakers come. Don't be near her.
That's when she goes unblockable? Because I was like, okay, I can handle unstoppable. That's fine. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
She goes unblockable, unstoppable, and indestructible.
Yeah, that's a big combination.
Yeah, triple threat.
Yeah, that's a triple threat. I like that. That's a triple threat. That's a basketball term. Mr. Fernandez, Nick Fury crushes her. All right. Play her like you using her. So just intercept a lot, go immortal, and throw a big SP2.
I will address Eric asking, like, if I will be given a buff project. Yeah, I do have one. It'll come out when we can make room for it on the slate.
Can you tell us what class? Little tease?
No, I think that's probably a bit much.
But it is a champion in MCoC.
Yeah, and I will also say that, like, just addressing, because I saw a comment about there's value in simplicity. There is. But doing simplicity well in a game this complicated is itself complex.
That feels like something that my yoga teacher said like during Shavasana or something. Like, I know what you meant. It just sounded extremely profound. Like, I'm going to probably fall asleep being like, doing something complex and it came this simple. No,
I started in July, Doug. Yeah. I've been working. It's just there's an onboarding process.
Just wait it out. I beat her with Nightcrawler. Dude, I've been seeing some Nightcrawler stuff lately. From Dan. What's Frontline MCoC? He's been putting a lot of Nightcrawler stuff out on Twitter too. Cool. This is the most ironic stream I think I've ever had. The title of it is Short Test Stream. Do not pay attention to thumbnail. And the thumbnail is from a video I did on the 2021 gifting event. I now have on the second largest YouTube channel, active YouTube channel that covers our game, won the MCoC like Summoners Championship, and a person who actually designs champions for Kabam.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise. You never know what's gonna happen. If you guys are up to hang out for about 5 or 6 more minutes, I was doing it. Basically turned into like an AMA. If you guys are willing to keep taking questions, I'd love to.
I'll probably have to go at some point, but yeah.
Well, I should go. Like, I know I was supposed to go do dinner like 20 minutes ago, but my wife's been incredibly understanding the last few weeks, so I'll push it a little farther, I guess. And I know we've got, I don't think any of the competitors are streaming yet. I don't think any of the matchups are until 7.
Infamous is already in 7 minutes.
Let's stay on till Infamous.
Okay, I gotta run.
I'm going to stay until Infamous is ready, and then we'll raid him.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I probably will be live doing Battlegrounds or something later. So I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody's questions, but subscribe, turn on the bell. You know where to find me.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Make sure you check out his being DLL and Lagacy's video. I'm sure you're already subscribed to Lagacy. And if you're not subscribed to DLL, his channel is linked in the description of this one. Check out their videos. I'm sure they're both awesome.
Good talking to you both. Take care.
Yeah.
Take care, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Mr. Fernandez is going to start streaming at 9:45. Look, I really like Infamous a lot. But I love you. I've known you for like 2 years and change. You sure you don't want to start your stream at 9:30? Or we'll just raid you, and then everyone can watch you beat up on B Manny. How are you liking the tournament, Lax? You've pretty much secured your ticket into the knockout stage.
Yeah, man, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Having so much fun.
Good. Anything that you would want to see improved, or any advice? Because I don't. You probably haven't heard, or I think you have. I'm already planning the next one. I'm thinking about starting it the last week of November. Do you guys celebrate like a Thanksgiving holiday in Canada?
Yeah, but it's in October.
It's October. Okay. So for us in the U.S., I think it's the 25th, right? Oh, no, it's the 24th. Anyway, so I'm thinking about starting the tournament the 28th of November, and then having a week off for everyone in over the Christmas holiday.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. I assumed you'd be in just because you're a competitor,
Oh, yeah. No.
Is there anything you'd like to see? I already have a certain rule set, and I'll talk to you about that offline because I want to kind of keep that secret. I think viewers are really going to dig it.
Okay.
So yeah, I was just wondering if you had any advice or opinions or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's good that now we figured out the inviting thing. So I think as long as we do that now, make it fair, like for placing first and everything.
Yeah.
Great.
But other than that, oh no, go ahead. I think I interrupted you.
I was just gonna say, because it's just like an unfortunate advantage that someone can take advantage of, and it's not really fair.
Yeah, and I know we had so many matchups where people didn't know, and it was just like even last night, and because I knew that we needed to be mindful of it, I actually a couple times had to ask the people on call, wait, like, is it my turn to invite, or
Yeah.
you're in the moment, you're not really thinking about the etiquette of inviting,
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be
What's the inviting thing? Yeah, so if it's basically like this. If you invite, think of it as you're hosting the match, and host always gets the advantage. So when you invite, you're hosting, and so the opponent will have to place their defender first. And as host, you also get the last draft pick. So basically, your opponent has all 7 of their champions. They can't make any alterations to their draft. But then you get one more draft, so you get to look at their whole roster and make the absolute best choice. And there's nothing your opponent can do about it. And then they have to also place first. So it's just like 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages, like right off the bat. And it's just a little unbalanced.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally figured it out. It is what it is. That's the kind of stuff. That's the only way to know, because it got brought up in week 1, and I remembered I specifically asked in chat, and we actually got a couple of different answers, and that's why I was like, I don't think it's discernible, guys. But then as time went on, it became clear, like, no, there's a pattern, and then Kabam employees actually did confirm it for us in the CCP server. So I'm glad we got it sorted. It's all good. And then for the next one, we're going to stick with the same plan. Just because, Lags, I have so many friends who don't stream. And I want them in the tournament. They also happen to be some of the best Battlegrounds players in the world. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I don't know if you saw Tom Jarvis go today. My buddy Nerd. I've gotten to know these guys over the last couple of years on Discord. I just really like them. They're great guys. And they're outrageously good at Battlegrounds. But they don't stream. They don't have YouTube channels. Like, they're not set up for that. Like, I think they're both, like, uni students. And so, like, they're on their university's Wi-Fi and stuff like that. And so for group play, which is how we're doing it, I'm going to continue with the no streaming requirement. And then for playoffs, I'll need people to either stream it or to link to do like a screen share in Discord. So that way they don't need to really stream. They're just sharing their screen, and then I'll show it on mine. so viewers can watch it.
Yeah, I think that's fair, and that'd be really fun to see too.
You know what's wild, dude, is I don't think you were in the stream last night. I apologize if you were and I forgot. I didn't do any warm-up matches, and boy did it show. Yeah, like Doug's bringing it up.
Oh, when you were facing
MP Blaze.
Yeah, MP Blaze. That's it. Yeah. I don't think I was there live, but I did definitely watch it yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, those first 2 rounds are a little rough.
Dude, I couldn't even stay alive. Like like my attackers were dying. It was like my thumb. Like Doug's right. I was just like it's not the game, guys. I'd love to blame inputs right now, but I want to be honest. It's not the game. It's me. It is 100% me.
You're mounting a nice comeback, though.
So I know, dude. I woke up this morning and I was like, I can't believe the mistakes I made, because I had all the momentum. And that's what I was going to say is streaming was definitely harder in the beginning.
Oh, for sure.
I was like in the moment being like, oh shit, I'm doing this in front of 200 people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind pooping my pants. Like, I'm not a big fan of it, but it happens to everybody. Why do I have to do it in front of 200 people? But then when I won my first fight, it was like Overseer vs. Doom, I think it was. Like,
oh yeah, that was a nice fight.
The adrenaline, though, and the fact that I was doing it in front of 200 people. Like, I know you're like 200. That sounds like a lot. That's cute, kid. You're used to doing like 1,000, 2,000, whatever, right? But like when that happened for me, that's a big for me, you know. It was a tremendous positive to have an audience at that point. Like it was tremendous, and I got game sounds through my phone. Mike showed me how to do it, and it was so much better, dude. So much better.
And they're not delayed?
No.
Oh, maybe you have to teach me how to do that too.
Yeah. It was shockingly simple. You use OBS?
Yep.
Mike showed me like a video. His OBS isn't set up the same way mine is, as far as sources are concerned. I'll show you what I did, and then I'll try to forward you what he did, and between those, maybe able to set up yours, because it's perfect. Like I can hear the game now, and I used to have so much trouble repairing because I couldn't hear that second parry, like that second. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so it was always delayed, and now I can hear it. It was butter, dude. It was so nice. Is
it coming through your headset?
Yeah. So like it's coming through exactly what I hear you on right now.
That is awesome.
Yeah. It's cool. Hey, everybody, like I said, I really meant it. I thought I was going to stream for like 45 minutes. And here we are, an hour and a half later, I think. Hour and 45 minutes later. I actually might even leave this live and change it to two good friends stop by. Let's go. Lax, actually, did you have anything you wanted to add before we sign off?
No, man. Just thanks for having me. This was a good, nice little talk. Unexpected.
Oh, dude, I loved having you on. Stop by anytime you want. Thanks. And hey, and actually, since I'm sorry, guys. I don't often get Lagacy on the phone. I really appreciate how much you're shouting out the people you're competing against in the tournament. Both of them have seen tremendous channel growth after their matchup with you. I know they both would have preferred to win, but they've both had tremendous channel growth, and I know that's directly linked to you making very genuine and real shout-outs to them at the beginning of your videos, recapping the matchups. And most people wouldn't do that. And I really appreciate that you are, man. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, man. It's like real recognizes real. You know, like I can clearly tell that they are very skilled players. So I want to steer some more traffic their way. You know.
Yeah, they are. Both of the guys you faced are excellent players. I've gotten to know them. So I appreciate that. Thank you for all the donations. We got Ozfan in here. Easy, I think, too. There's a couple more. I apologize. I'm terrible at that. I will get better. Thank you for all the donations. Everyone in the chat, you guys made this so much darn fun. DLL, and of course, still on the line, Lagacy. Let's go raid Clown. He's going to be fighting B Manny. These are two Ultimate 4 Loki legends, both of these guys. Right? I mean, honestly, do you put them in the pantheon of legends? I do.
Yeah.
Easy.
Definitely.
Easy, right? So go raid Clown, cheer him on, and have a blast, everybody. I will catch you tomorrow for Slaymon for Slayer of Gods. Check out the promo, and they'll be live at 4:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Ooh, That's going to be a good match. Are they going to be on call together or something?
I think they might be. I'm going to do a watch party, so if people want to do that. If they're on call together, though, I might be tuning into that one as well.
Yeah, I want to hear the trash talk.
Exactly. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.